ate noodles with no packet. Cereal.
China. We love China.
Country's history, and they're doing it from their bedrooms. No working, no marriage, no kids. Just doing the bare minimum to survive. It's a massive silent rebellion against a broken system, and the Chinese government is absolutely terrified. Chinese experts estimate that excluding students, the youth unemployment rate could be as high as 46.5%. That's nearly half of China's youth refusing to or unable to get a job. This is a trend where people are simply choosing to stay home and live stress-free. So why is China's government deeply terrified by this movement and desperately trying to censor it?
So y'all are chilling at home with your parents go off into work and stress and raising their cortisol levels just so you guys can eat noodle soup and play Nintendo Switch?
Because this movement has a very clear intention to force China's government to finally fix their broken system. The movement started in 2021 under the name of Tangping, which means laying flat. The movement started with a man named Luo Huazhong who made posts documenting his lifestyle. He was unemployed, ate 2 meals a day, and only worked a few days a year when he needed the money. And this post struck a
few days a year when he needed the money. I wonder what he wanted to do those few days a year where he really needed cash. That opens a bigger can of worms.
With millions, with many others sharing their minimalistic lifestyles online. Tangping was a movement that advocated for having low desire, low ambition, and rejecting consumerist mindsets. It didn't necessarily advocate for being unemployed, but rather a mindset of prioritizing one's own mental health over their boss or...
What are you guys talking about right now, dude? This is absolute hogwash. This is like, it's almost a W, but what? Come on.
Job or societal expectations. People who follow this ideology refuse to work overtime and will put off work from their bosses or ask to do it later. The Tangping movement started as a rejection of being a corporate slave, but as the movement grew...
I have nothing against making sure your mental health is in check. I have nothing against wanting to live a life of leisure, but you also have to put in some kind of action, bro. You can't be laying around doing nothing and expect something to change. I guess when this guy was doing it, he was just doing it because this is a lifestyle. And then everyone said, yo, let's band together and try to at least help China create a job market for the youth because there are no jobs. Hey, if China's going through it and they have no jobs, that's fine because the rest of the world is going through the exact same thing. The current job market here in Canada is absolutely cooked. So I get it. You know what? Youth of Canada, kids of Canada, you and I, we are the Goyim. Let's band together and let's also lay flat. Pause.
People started taking this ideology even further by completely refusing to get a job. This led to the rise of the ideology of Bailan, which is a more extreme version of Tangping. The term came from basketball slang, meaning we've already lost, so might as well just stop trying. Bailan's ideology is a rejection.
Bro, we've already lost, we might as well stop. Bro, these ideologies go completely against my lion, fire, tiger blood, bro. Ideologies of do whatever it takes to win. Our mentality when we were rich was get rich or die trying, dude. That was our young mentality. Now this new mentality is, oh, well, we're already losing, so we might as well stop trying. Come on, guys.
Of many things. Don't buy a house or apartment, don't get married or have children, don't pursue a career, and spend the bare minimum to survive. Because why put effort into these things if they're...
Where are you getting the money to spend the bare minimum? You need money to even spend the minimum. So how does this even make any sense?
Impossible, or involve trading away your freedom or mental health. An example of this is how 70,000 graduates in China with master degrees have become food delivery drivers. You know, like DoorDash, but in China. Imagine grinding day and night, going through 18 years of China's brutal school system, just to say this at the last minute because you'd rather deliver pizza on your bike. Many are refusing to get a job and instead becoming full-time children by staying home to cook and clean for their parents, to live with them and earn a salary from them. Many are even being called
Society is cooked, bro.
That's people who stay in their bedrooms, waking up late in the day, rotting in their bed, doom scrolling for hours, and rarely going outside. Now, Bailan doesn't mean...
Bro, that would just give you the nastiest bed sores, bro. Ew. First of all, if you've ever laid around anyway, try this. Lay around. Well, first of all, most of you are already trying it. Most of you are already doing it. So you're probably watching this video laying in bed like a loser somewhere. But for the rest of you who get a good rise of dopamine but actually achieving things in life, sit around in the house for 3 days just watching television or just watching stuff, and you will see that your brain will start to hurt. Your body will crave some kind of movement. You know, there's nothing better, as they always say, than a hard day's work.
Quitting working entirely, but rather working only when necessary. This involves low-maintenance jobs like being an online tutor, streamer, content creator, driver, trash collector, etc. And it involves working these jobs for very low hours to make just enough money to survive. Under this lifestyle, some can still afford their basic necessities, but others cannot. Which takes us to the most extreme levels of Tangping, because millions of Chinese people are literally choosing to become homeless, as they see it as a better fate than becoming a corporate slave. This involves sleeping in internet cafes, restaurants, tents, train stations, or even directly on the street.
bro. No. No. This is too much. This takes the cake. This is what we call, this is a societal L.
Now, there's a lot more about buy land that needs to be said, but first, I'd like to talk about today's sponsor, CyberGhost. You might think you're safe using Incalculable. Right now, you the video under 33 years old. If you don't understand just how insane that is, that's equivalent to the entire population of South Korea. And these aren't the addicted, crackhead, homeless people we have in the US. These are sane, logical people who did the math and realized that being homeless is better than working and paying rent.
虽然不对，但是它舒适啊。那你赚钱不就是为了过得舒适吗？我发现躺着就挺舒适，那我为啥还要再去赚钱呢？
Now, on a surface level, these people might seem lazy or guilty of having a loser's mentality, giving up whenever things get hard. But that couldn't be further from the truth. The people who subscribe to the tongue...
Explain it to me then. Explain it to me. You got 2 minutes to explain it to me, because right now, the latter is true.
...ideology are actually very hardworking people, or at least they used to be. These are people who tried to make it in the system, who tried to create a good life for themselves by studying hard and going to college and finding a job. But the more they tried, the more they began to realize working harder does not mean attaining more happiness. Every year, the number...
Okay, that's true, yes. Working hard is a lie. You should never work hard. You should work efficiently. But at the start, you have to work hard to be able to work efficiently. You know, action times time equals result. Result times time. Or result times investing equals freedom. You know, sorry. Coming up with the formula on the spot really hurts my head, you know, maybe I should lay flat.
The number of college graduates increases in China, but the quantity of new jobs isn't increasing to match this pace. This creates a job market with fierce competition. And in a job market where millions of qualified applicants are competing for fewer positions, the competitive differentiator between applicants isn't about who has more skills or knowledge. It's about who's more willing to work extreme amounts of hours. This has led to a brutal work culture known as 996, rising in prominence in the last decade. Work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. Some employees spend so much time at the office that they end up sleeping there, having their entire lives revolve around their job. 996 is very common in China, with almost all the top tech and internet companies running by it. Millions of young Chinese individuals enter this workforce with the idea that hard work will bring them wealth and status. But the sad reality is, because so many applicants are willing to work extremely hard work is no longer a praiseworthy quality deserving of a promotion, but rather the norm that's expected out of every single employee. This reality has posed an existential question.
Oh, that's gonna definitely pose a problem for me. You think I'm working hard for anybody, bro? Come on, let's be real.
To China's youth. If running faster doesn't get you anywhere, then why run at all? China's youth was supposed to reap the rewards of their hard work. Their hard work was supposed to create a better world for them. But instead, their hard work has only helped the wealthy in China grow even wealthier, while life is only getting worse for the rest of the population. In 1978, the bottom 50% of China's population earned 27% of China's national income. Today, they earn only 15% of China's national income. Why? Because the wealthy elite are taking more of this income for themselves. Housing prices are sky high, while salaries have remained low. More and more workers are being laid off because they simply aren't needed anymore. Many companies are even decreasing their wages because they have so many workers readily available to them. This is the nation that the youth's hard work has created. So why continue working hard if their hard work will only contribute more to this inequality? Now, if this was any other country, the youth would have done the obvious thing: protest, rebel, speak out against this cruel system. In Western democracies, the youth can vote for the changes they want to see be done. But not in China. There's no voting in China. Any attempt of criticizing the system will result in getting censored. Public protests rarely go anywhere because they always get silenced by law enforcement and often end in violence. Because of this, China's youth really only has one option: Tongping, to lie flat and refuse to cooperate with this corrupt system. It's a non-violent, quiet, hidden protest with a message that speaks louder than any banner, riot, or march. If you don't fix the system, we're not working. And this movement is only growing larger and larger every year, with more people...
Check this out. If they manage to fix the system, right? If they manage to somehow completely... Because this is what you essentially would call, like... This is the equivalent of, like, a super peaceful protest, right? Because Sorry, let me get my thoughts straight. The age differential in China right now is like an upside down triangle, right? The top big part is a bunch of old heads. The old heads are at the top. The new generation, they're small and they're on the bottom. But as the old class now out-ages themselves out of the workforce, there's not going to be enough people on the bottom to replace themselves. And also, first of all, these countries, especially like China and South Korea and stuff, are the replacement, the speed at which they're able to replace themselves is small because there's not enough people procreating already. So now the youth said, hey, we're not even going to work or do anything or somehow contribute to society. So this actually will cause a panic. So I do hope that their measures are able to actually help them and get rid of this imbalance that exists in the current society, and that China decides to create more jobs for the youth and get rid of this 669 thing, you know. Shout out to Fetty Wap. But with that being said, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video. All right, you goyim, goy.